I mean, if you're a fire guy that wins back-to-back championship, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters.
Although Jason Garrett stayed for 20 years.
But you got to let him have his way, Skip. Now, you got to let him address the team after the games and before the games and all that stuff. And you know Jimmy wasn't having that. Skip, look. Sure, Mike McCarthy should have challenged the catch or the non-catch yesterday. But one challenge, all that would have done would have made people like, we made the playoffs, and you wouldn't have really saw the forest for the trees. Because you had a bad football team. You're in a bad division, and you're one of the worst teams in that division. So all that challenge would have done would have made you look, we made the playoffs, we made the playoffs. Because remember, Zeke kept saying, it doesn't matter. As long as we win the division, our record could be 14-2, better, just like anybody else with 14-2 record, something to that effect. But you overlook it. See, Jerry needs to evaluate the player and not the name on the back of the jersey or what's on the front of the jersey. Just because they put that Cowboy uniform on, that doesn't mean they're great, Jerry. Just because you pay them a ton of money, that doesn't mean they're great, Jerry. And I think sometimes, Skip, Jerry thinks if I pay a guy a lot of money, he's going to be his big dollar, Skip. If you really look at it, at its crooks, if you look at his big dollar guys, they didn't come through nearly enough this year. There's a reason why Aaron Rodgers make the money. And Mahomes and certain guys make money. Skip, I got to count on them. If I play 16 games, 14 of them, they got to deliver for me. Amari Cooper didn't do enough, Skip. Can you remember one game we said Amari took that game over? Can you say one game? Woo, D-Long took that game over. He had one game all year. Not for $21 million. I need 7, 8, 9 of those. I need Aaron Donald. I need T.J. Watt. That's what I need from him. And I didn't see it nearly enough. Now, the coach is going to take the lion's share of the blame, and rightfully so. That's what, because they say, well, I can't fire all these players. I can just get rid of the coach. But Jason Garrett don't look so bad. I think you feel worse about Mike McCarthy right now than you did all last year about Jason Garrett.
Probably I did. At least Jason Garrett tried to do something. Occasionally. He would go for it. He would challenge. He would risk. He would act like he was alive on the sideline to a fault.
Oh, now you like clapping. See, that clapping was to let you know he was still there. You don't get a little golf clap.
Okay, obviously, before I answer this question, what happened last night with Doug Peterson and poor Nate Sudfeld rendered all this moot. But I'm just taking this game in a vacuum yesterday.
Yes.
And all I know is that 75% of the blame for this game is going on the head coach.
75?
Yeah, and I'm saying that because I give you, my team stunk up the first half. My highest paid running back in football stunk up the first half by waving out. I'll get to that in a moment. But somehow, when I thought all was completely lost at the end of the half, they kicked a cross-country field goal to cut it to 20-9, and they go to the locker room, and somehow they fixed it physically and mentally in the locker room because they came out and they dominated the second half against a team that was on fire in the first half. They shut them down. They held them to 0 for 4 on third down in the second half.
They did.
They dominated the ball because they ran 46 plays to the Giants' 23 plays in the second half. That's twice as many. Obviously, the yards were completely tilted in favor of Dallas. 194 to 97 second half yards. My team was in command of the game on both sides of the ball until a play that required the coach to make a quick decision, a gutsy decision, but just a pretty routine decision for a head coach in my book, a Jimmy Johnson memorial decision, because this would have been Jimmy's piece of cake decision.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy taking one look, because the thing, and again, it's probably unfair to compare Jimmy Johnson to Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, it is.
But Mike McCarthy did win a Super Bowl, so we got to kind of put him up there in the same realm.
I think the thing, you challenge it for the simple fact is this is going to be a field goal game.
Yeah.
So let the field goal be, if I make the field goal, I win the game. Not they end up kicking the field goal and win the game.
All right. So this is a throw on 3rd and long to Dante Pettis, son of Gary Pettis. You remember the great center fielder, played for the Rangers. I covered him for a while. What a great player he was, six-time Gold Glover. So Dante Pettis from the University of Washington makes a nice dive for the football on a low and away throw, but he uses the ground to secure it. He sticks the nose of the football in the turf. I needed one quick look at a replay to say, not a catch.
But Skip, that's what you got somebody upstairs
I
for.
got it. You got a staff upstairs. You're Mr. Analytics.
They got scared.
Okay.
Because they saw what Coach Belichick did on Monday night. They're like, oh, if I get it wrong,
Is he going to throw the phone?
Exactly.
Okay. So Mike McCarthy had time to look up at the big monitor in the stadium and just watch it himself. And what were his quotes? He says, we felt like it was kind of a bang-bang type of situation. And the fact of the matter, we were in a tight game, and the 3 timeouts we wanted to preserve at that point. Well, you did?
Skip, in a situation like that, ain't no we.
So
It's you.
we just didn't think there was enough information to overturn it. Our man Mike Pereira immediately said live on Fox that he has no doubt, no question in my mind was his quote that the officials would have reversed the call. No doubt?
Skip, I understand. In the offseason, y'all want to get together, you and Jerry, it's a we. But in a situation like that, it's a you, Skip. There's a reason why you got the red flag. They don't give red flags to all the coaches. One coach get the red flag.
Okay, so I've brought this up 10 times on this show through the season. I've asked you, what does my new head coach do during games exactly on the sideline? Because he lets old Bones that you watched grow up, right? Bones Fossil.
Special teams.
He lets him pull the trigger on special teams if they want to go for a fake punt deep in their own territory against the Washington football team on Thanksgiving. Remember that?
Yep.
It was a horrendous play design, and they went for it on 4th and long in their own territory early in the 4th quarter. But Mike McCarthy has nothing to do with that. He gives him full leeway to go for it.
Right.
And does he call a play? No, he doesn't call a play because they kept Kellen Moore. I thought he was gone to Boise State, and he stayed.
Yeah.
And I
guess he's the coach in waiting.
I guess so. So he's got full control of the offense, which brings me to Mike McCarthy, or is it Mike McSleepy? Is he just an old bullfrog over there sitting on a lily pad sunning himself on a Sunday afternoon? I don't know. Hands in pocket, looking around like I'm a not so innocent bystander.
Maybe he was thinking like you. We're dominating this game. Even if they do kick the field goal, it's not going to matter. We're going to go get a touchdown and win the game.
Okay, but fine. Here's the problem with that. It's a 50-yard field goal, and Graham Gano's very good. He's got a 63 on his resume a couple of years back in Carolina that actually beat the Giants at the buzzer to win a game like 33-31.
Right.
But the point is, you want to talk about dicey.
Yeah, you ain't kicking no 63-yard in that weather.
Okay, and it swirls up there in the Meadowlands. You know how hard it is to kick up there. In fact, my guy Zerline was money yesterday. He was tremendous.
Yeah, but that's 51. But that's another 12 yards.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm trusting anybody as good as Tuck is. I don't know if I'm trusting Tuck in weather
it
like
went
that.
from 50 back to, if you took the 10 away, it's to 60.
Right.
Okay. Are they going to risk a 60-yard field goal from the 42? Because you're going to give Dallas the ball. If you miss it, they're going to get the ball at the 42-yard line.
You punting.
Okay? You're going to punt. Is my team going to win? Well, you'd feel like the momentum would continue to swing to Dallas. And I love the way they were moving the ball. And they still, even after the field goal, they moved the ball. And here came Andy Dalton, and he converted 3rd and 3, and then 3rd and 1, and then 4th and 2, and then 3rd and 1. And they were all sweet plays. All of them. He converted one with his legs, and he had a nice throw to Dalton Schultz on it's kind of a pick play, but where the wide receiver blocks for him. CD came strong and blocked for him, and he got loose, and they get it all the way down to 1st and goal at the 7. Well, if they had to punt, you'd be in position A. We'd be in the old catbird seat, right?
Yeah, you could have kicked the field goal to 1.
You just say, let's bleed the clock now on 1st and goal to 7. Let's bleed it down to how far we could bleed it to seconds left.
Well, how about this, Skip? You just do what you normally do because you don't score in the red zone anyway. So
do what you normally do, okay? And just let the clock, don't snap it until you have to snap it. And kick the chip shot field goal after 1st and goal.
You know y'all lost that game still, though.
Huh?
Yeah, it's the Cowboys.
No.
You remember what happened?
This team was different. This team caught fire.
Y'all did that against Seattle that year. Remember when Romo fumbled it? Whoa.
That's forever. That's ancient history.
But that's y'all
Tony Romo.
That's y'all history.
I know, but history doesn't dictate what's happening right now.